Up for the cup, check out Castleford star Katie Hepworth's wonder try. Seaside Special, the Summer Bash puts women first. And Natalie Gilmore gets her boots back on for Wakefield. Hello and welcome to the first ever Women in League show. I'm delighted to be joined by two of the stars of the Women's Super League, Danica Preem of Leeds and Beth Daniels for Featherstone. We've got a lot to talk about over the next half an hour, so let's start with the Challenge Cup and the tie of the round between Bradford Bulls and Castleford Tigers. And Kate Hepworth scored a fantastic hat-trick, including this spectacular try.
Yeah, it was incredible. It's something I think Castleford are renowned for, their kick and their chase, and they scored a couple of tries against us the weekend before, so it's a bit of a Hepworth special, I think that is, and it was a great team try all in all.
It was a good turnout, the Castleford side beating Bradford, who won the Challenge Cup last year. They'll be disappointed to have gone out in the first round.
Yeah, massively so. I think, you know, they've had a lot of pressure on them this season to kind of go in and do the treble again, and it was always going to be a bit of a mean feat for them with all the new teams starting. But I mean, it's a shame to see Bradford go out so soon, but it's great to see that the competition's there and the league has opened up a little bit more, so we'll see what it brings.
Yeah, it's nice. It's actually nice to see a big club leave the competition, and I feel that I think without them in it, we can go a bit further as well. I think it would be a tough tie against them, so I'm glad.
And Leeds, you played Wakefield in the last round. It turned out to be a little bit one-sided, but that first 20 minutes, Wakefield really dug in and got stuck in.
Yeah, all credit to Wakefield and how they turned up. Massive occasion for them, and to come from the championship winning all 4 games and come up against us, they put up a real fight.
So we've got a deer just to our right-hand side going straight across the park.
Against, you know, such formidable opponents, to play it safe, and you know, it's really nice to see Wakefield aren't doing that.
As Charlotte Booth goes around the tackle of one and is running down the touchline here, and Brinkley tries to put the challenge in. It's going to be the first try of the game here for Charlotte Booth, who touches down in the... And Leeds will look to go forward here. Anderson with a quick play of the ball out to Hannah Butcher, and she'll go herself.
And then she gets that little offload away, and I think that Wakefield have done the homework and are well aware of that.
Oh, as Fortell's going to just grubbers it over the top, and Brinkley doesn't reclaim early enough. Anderson doesn't really hold up for any second, as then it comes out from Frankie Townend, gives it on to Hannah Butcher. Quick break here, and Sophie Robinson is in the clear. There's no one in front of her, and she's just going to get around the outside of Saskia Lewis and will touch down under the sticks. And as we said, things are just going from bad to worse here for Wakefield. All again. Gives it off to Gilmore, and it's
good hands there.
Gives really good hands as Beavers is straight under the ball and running that ball back with intent and pressure. And she's going to make a clean break as well. Is Caitlin Beavers. She's going to go all the way. There's no one back here from the Wildcats. No one's at home. As Caitlin Beavers scores the 4th try here for the Rhinos. Runs straight at the defence.
This is difficult now for Wakefield to have to repeatedly defend another set. It's, you know, it's going to cause fatigue. And
there we see it was as Rhiannon Marshall dots the ball down under the sticks.
Yeah, we're displaying a lot of character, but again, you know, Leeds are just looking sharper, more clinical.
And Leeds have just got over in the corner. I think it's Susie Hill.
Good set so far by Wakefield here.
Armistead to cut. Takes a knock from Brinkley, and it's intercepted here from Susie Hill. Just when Wakefield were looking to build something. A mismatched pass, just intercepted by Hill.
So much, but again, it's been a learning process, and I think that we've got to look at this as a lesson to learn from.
As the grubber kick there is put through, we were talking about the big in goals.
It's been outstanding, you know, and they should be very proud. Every player should leave this pitch, you know, with their head held high. I'm very, very proud of the performance that they've put in.
In terms of Leeds, it was one-sided. I think the first 20 minutes we were a bit shocked, a bit stunned about how they came out, and luckily for us, ultimately we took away the win, and we also took a few things away from that we need to work on in training, but nice to make it to the next round as a new club.
And Featherstone, you also made it to the next round, beating Stanley. How was that for you?
It's actually a good test for us. We needed to perform for a full 80 minutes, and Stanley came at the right time. The whole team just I don't know, they just all raised the game and we came away with a win and we performed the full 80 minutes, which is the first time I think this season we've done that. So yeah, it's really, really good.
And looking to kick on now into the next round.
Yeah, and we've just been drawn with Wigan at home as well, so really looking forward to that and righting some wrongs on that game as well.
There was a bit of an interruption at the start of the Wakefield Leeds game, that deer running across the back of the pitch. You're not doing much running at the minute. What's the update with your injury and your knee?
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate really. I picked up a bit of an injury during the Leeds Cast game at Headingley. So I guess I'm going to do anyway. It was a nice place to do it. Looking like, unfortunately, I'm probably going to be out for the rest of the season. But I'm still involved with the team really heavily, and they're doing a really great job of making sure I'm still involved. And I've been down to training all week and was at the game on Sunday. But, you know, fingers crossed, I've still not got the full results back, so there's still holding out some hope I might make it back for the end of the season. Fingers crossed.
Another big tie at the weekend, St Helens played Hull at the Totally Wicked Stadium, curtain raiser for the men's game, and that must have been a really big thing for them, and we saw a big score as well.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I think it's great for the women's game to get that curtain raiser before. And you've got Faye Gaskin, she's really kind of instrumental in the St Helens team, and it's very much down the left-hand edge with her and Roxy Moore working well together. You've got Shani Crowell down the middle, playing at 13 now. Great kind of power runner, but also great with the hands as well, so pretty perfect for her, and she came back off a pretty successful performance in the World Cup as well.
And they're top of the league at the minute and looking like they're going to go on a bit of a Challenge Cup run as well. How dangerous are they?
Very dangerous. I mean, we held them first half when we played them, but second half they came out different team and honestly played amazingly. Down the wings, they're so hard to beat down the wings, and they've got a good pack as well, so very hard.
And we saw 4 tries from Tara Jones. How good is she doing this season?
Yeah, she's awesome. She's really fundamental. She works really well with Faye Gaskin, and I think, well, as we all know, that she's doing fantastic in her refereeing as well, and her knowledge of the game, I think, really sets up the Saints team and uses that to her advantage totally.
She's a great ambassador for the women's game, isn't she?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's have a quick look at all the results from the first round. The 8 teams to go forward to the quarter-finals are St Helens, the Army team, York, Wigan, Danica's team Leeds, Castleford, Featherstone and Barrow. And who'll play who on July the 1st? Let's have a look. Here are the quarter-final fixtures. The big one has got to be Castleford versus St Helens. Wigan get to play Featherstone, Leeds will play the Army and Barrow will play York. So your thoughts on getting the Army? They had a big win at the weekend, didn't they, Danica?
Yeah, absolutely, and going to be looking forward to playing them. I think for Leeds Rhinos this season, a lot of our games have been won towards the last, 20-30 minutes because of our fitness and our strength and conditioning, and it's the Army. They're going to be really well conditioned and they're going to be super fit. So I think it's going to be a good contest for us to play that full 80 at the same kind of intensity and pace, and we're going to be really reliant on our skill and the kind of plays we've been working on in training. So it's going to be an exciting contest, I think.
Mm-hmm. And Featherstone, you've got Wigan in the next round. I know you played them at the start of the season and it was a real tough game for you, but you've improved over the season, so it's going to be a completely different game, isn't it, in the next round? Yeah,
I think we'll surprise Wigan in the next round. Some of us had only played together, the ones when we met them before. As you say, a completely different team now, and I do hope we will surprise them. So.
And both of you looking to go on a bit of a cup run?
Yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't want to? And I think as with our inaugural season, I think we're hoping to get kind of as far down every competition this season that we're going to get, and get that competition that the league's offering now. It's really exciting. And
you were in the final last year. Are you looking to go one further this year and win it?
Definitely. I think that's the goal for us all here, get to the final and win it for everyone last year. So.
Thanks, Beth. Now let's go back a couple of weeks to the Summer Bash. 6 championship games in Blackpool over 2 days. But the whole thing was kicked off by the women of Featherstone and Bradford.
First 10-15 minutes, let's keep it simple. Let's play to our systems, let's complete sets. We'll complete sets today, we'll come away with the win. Everyone feeling ready for it? Yeah! Enjoy it, girls!
2 minutes, girls. 2 minutes.
it's something we've tried to work on as a team, not to get too over emotional and just try and stay relaxed and hopefully we get a good performance.
Andrade now brings the ball forward.
It was taken easily by Chrissy Nettleton and she's actually away now. Featherstone having to chase her down.
Bullman's chasing her down from the opposite flank. Isn't quite going to reach her, unfortunately, and that's a classy individual try there. A real first test of Featherstone's line defence and Bradford putting it to the test, getting a lot of second phase play here now as they work it to this right flank. It's Hardcastle trying to squeeze her way over. In fact, she does.
And they've still got a couple of tackles left in this set of 6. They've made many metres up the field, haven't they? And it comes out to that left-hand side and Bradford going in for their 3rd try of the game. That was easy. Harrowell it was with that important tackle. They're running it though. Power play, Amy Hardcastle. She gets the ball away to Andrade. Andrade's going for the line. She gets past 2 Featherstone would-be defenders and scores under the posts. Dobson looks for a ball steal, but she doesn't get it. The ball's played 2 metres out. Dobson's still on the floor and Bradford looking to go for another try, and I think they're in there. So it was Lee Powell there. It's coming out to the right-hand side. Dobson with a cut-out pass, but it's an intercept for Bradford Bulls, and this is going to be another try for them. I can't see anybody catching the Bulls player.
Bullman's chasing her down along with Lloyd, but neither of them is going to be able to haul her into range.
Groenham in at dummy half to Dobson. Dobson with a cut-out pass. It's been going to Kaylee Bullman, who gets a try for Featherstone Rovers. Hayley Heels it is who comes on, and Brogan Cherm's going for the line. She gets a try for Featherstone.
Brogan Churn scoring down the middle. She was the star of the first half for the Rovers and completely ploughs through the middle there.
So Bradford 25 metres out. It's important that Featherstone keep them out. It's coming down this left-hand side, and unfortunately Bradford are coming forward in terms of a Featherstone point of view, and the ball's put down by Rachel Twibble.
Was this the best performance of the season so far for you girls?
Yeah, for sure. Just a bit of consistency is what we needed across the park, and we've got them key positions, learning how to play together now, so hopefully we'll kick on from this.
It was a great weekend. Obviously not the result that you wanted, but how was the occasion for you, Beth?
Fantastic. I think it was a really good advert for women's rugby, and obviously to get Featherstone and Bradford on the big occasion like that in a big stadium with plenty of people watching. I think it did everyone well, and again the atmosphere was fantastic and the game was a good game. So
yeah, Bradford really came out in that first half, but you came back in the second and it was a close game in the second half. If you could have just picked that up in the first, do you think it'd have been a closer game at the end?
Yeah, I think we had our chances in the first half. I think we had the first chance coming off a scrum. Unfortunately, I missed the ball. Bradford ended up getting the ball and went and scored. I think if we could have done something then, I think it would have been a different result. And then again, second half, had nothing to lose. Obviously, pride at stake, and we came out and I think we were the better team in the second half. It's just a shame we couldn't do that in the first.
And Danica, the women's team's opening up that summer bash. What does that mean for the women's game?
Oh, it's just absolutely awesome. I think to be given that platform and to be given the opportunity, you know, a big occasion for the men's teams, and to have this kind of support from the RFL and to put that on, and you know, it makes the game a little bit more special. It was a Super League game, but it probably felt like a Championship final, you know, or something like that. And the way that Bradford celebrated at the end and, you know, deserved the win and things. But, you know, the turnout was pretty decent. The weather was great. The stadium's fantastic. The occasion was brilliant. And it's just loads of little stepping stones in order to make the women's game bigger and better in the future.
And it is getting that way, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, you know, and this season's, you know, you can see it massively this season with the lots of professional teams getting behind all the clubs and the women. I think the standard this season, especially in the Super League, has been fantastic, and I genuinely think that the Super League can go any way. You know, hopefully we're hoping it goes our way, but, you know, there's 3 or 4 teams really strongly competing up there now, so it's great.
And those big occasions, like the Summer Bash, they'll certainly help you going into the bigger games at the end of the season, grand finals if you get there, and the Challenge Cup final if you get there as well.
Yeah, definitely. We had some young girls in that game, so for them, I think it's just going to do them wonders. And obviously, the result wasn't what we wanted, but the occasion and everything, I think it's going to put us in good stead for these big games coming up.
Chrissy Nettleton scored 2 fantastic length of the field tries. She's really tall, she's got some fast legs. How do you rate her as a player?
She's really, really good. I think I actually tried to chase her down on one of her tries. Didn't get anywhere near her. Yeah, very good. Very hard to read as well. She's always in and out, and fantastic pace. Yeah, very good.
And Danica, you've got a few pacey players in your team. Caitlin Beavers, for example, scored a length of the field try at the weekend. Really helps having those players that can make that break, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've got, you know, Caitlin's a great young player. She's only 16 and she's going to be one of the up-and-coming kind of players to watch out in the future. We've got Charlotte Booth, who, she can break the line. She can carry like a forward and has got the pace of a winger and a fullback. So, you know, she's a real threat. Sophie Robinson's just moved from wing to centre to open up. We've got quite a few of the under-19s come up to Rhinos now. So, yeah, that pace is really crucial for us. We can get the ball out of the middle. They just need to finish it off for us.
Thanks, Danica. We've seen some great talent on show, but great talent needs a great coach. And here's someone that thinks she knows best. Let's have a look, shall we?
Welcome to Julie Bandor's online rugby league seminars. Since I am suspended, pending an investigation, I thought I would share with you all my top tips and skills that I have learned having over 2 years volunteer experience coaching under 9s. Firstly, are you coaching rubbish kids? Too many great coaches that I know get let down by the standard of kids they are coaching. You have to discourage these physically challenged kids early on. Otherwise, they have a tendency to hang around. And a good place to start is nicknames. So anything humiliating, that rhymes, questions of sexuality is good.
Oh, what do you do that for?
Well, it's how I sort the wheat from the chaff, Wayne. I keep chucking balls at them. I jump up from behind bins. I follow them home from school, away outside the door. My dad used to do it to me. I sometimes get him back, but he's in a home now, and the nurses, they seem to disapprove somewhat. Keep subscribing to Julie Bandor, the greatest coach on the earth.
There's only one Julie Bandor. Thank God for that. Do we really have coaches like that?
Can we say? There could be a couple.
I'm not naming any names.
What about Adam?
Oh no, he has his moments definitely, but no, he's a good coach, is Adam.
Adam Cuthbertson, Leeds Rhinos player and also coaches your team, Leeds. How has that dynamic worked within your team and having him as your coach?
I think it's been really awesome to set the platform that we've got at Leeds Rhinos and the professionalism that we're trying to maintain throughout the season. He brings a lot of experience, obviously playing at a Super League and a great, fantastic club as well. He brings a lot of experience, you know, sometimes he brings experience from his games and things he would do or wouldn't do in that situation. Just his knowledge of position-wise, like he's helped me 4 months ago, I wasn't very confident in my handling. And now, you know, it's just these little 1%ers that he keeps giving us. And you know, just I think having him is fantastic for the women's game and it's a great kind of ambassador for the women's game. But as a coach, full stop, he's one of the best coaches I've ever had.
And Beth, your coach, Johnny Payne, what's he like to work with?
He's a tough coach, very funny as well. Tries to bring a lot of fun into training and into our plays. But yeah, he's a workhorse, and he gets us motivated, and he's doing a good job, I think, here. We all respect him, and we all want to play for him and perform for him. So very good.
And it's not just male coaches that we've got in the Women's Super League. You've worked under Amanda Wilkinson at international level. What's she like as a coach?
Yeah, Amanda was my coach when I played for GB Teachers. Really knowledgeable woman, and I think it's quite nice to have a woman at such a high role really in the game, and kind of she's a great role model for aspiring coaches and really knowledgeable about the game as well.
And she's the highest qualified female coach as well.
Yeah, and I think that's really helped Wigan this season. You know, they've come out really fighting and put on some great scores against people, and as a team they're quite new, but they seem to be gelled and they seem to be putting on some really decent play, so she clearly knows her stuff.
And women coaches, do you think that will help the women's game?
Definitely. We've played under women coaches before, and I think it just gels the team even more. I think you respect them more than you would a male coach. So yeah, it's definitely beneficial.
And Danica, Lindsay Anfield, she's doing a great job with the Castleford Tigers women, and she's the assistant coach at England. What dynamic do you think she'll bring to that England side and obviously the Castleford side as well?
I think Lindsay's experience is going to be first and foremost there. You know, she's played in World Cups, she knows what it's like to play at that level, she knows the stresses and the strains that the game brings and being in an international environment brings. And I think she knows what kind of level is required for the women's game to move on to the next stage. So I think at Castleford she's really pushing them, and it's not just skill based, it's the fitness, it's the camaraderie, it's the gelling of the team. That is one of the closest knit teams I've met in the Super League, and their fitness rivals ours quite a lot. But I think just her general experience and where she wants the women's game to go. You know, she started at ultimate grassroots level when it comes to women's rugby. So I think she's seen it develop and she knows where it wants to go. So I think she's great to be on the England setup, and hopefully she'll bring a lot of experience and knowledge up at that level.
Well, one woman we're all familiar with is Natalie Gilmore. She hung up her boots last year, having played for Featherstone. She's also played at England, and now here she is talking to Jamie Hobbs about her new role with Wakefield.
Played in that game against Leeds. How did it go? How do you think the girls held up?
First 20-25 minutes, there were no difference between two teams. Leeds played at Super League. Obviously, we've got, I think it was the fitness that told in the end. As soon as you start to get fatigued, your ball handling skills, your defensive line falls apart, and that's basically what happened. They just had a higher level of fitness, and that's what told in the end. The first 25 minutes, you couldn't tell the difference between two teams. We were really proud at girls how they started that game. I think it did them good to lose, because obviously they're playing really well in the division that we are at minute, and they're winning quite comfortably some of the games. I think it's done them quite well to lose a game and see where actually that's the standard we need to achieve for next season. So we know what we need to work on, fitness being one of them, but they weren't far off. The score didn't reflect how tough that game was for Leeds.
And like you say, back to it, championship this week, Widnes playing at Wakefield this week, hopefully a lot turn out for that game.
Yeah, I think after that loss, I think the girls realise, you know, it's going to be an hard crack next season, so let's start working now and planning for next season. Playing at home, playing on the Wakey ground, I think it'll give them a real good buzz for a good performance. Missing a couple of players, but I think we've got depth in there to just start playing in different positions.
And yourself, you joined as an ambassador a couple of weeks ago, helping out with the coaching staff, helping out Wayne, and having to play a game as well, putting the boots back on.
Yeah, I think Wayne and James tag team me to that. I said, yeah, I put boots on, and you know, I think it just fit Super League. I just said, you know, I've played in there just to give a bit of experience. And then he went, will you start? So the hardest thing is just tiring. I loved it, you know, but you know, I didn't mind playing. But my role is to help them get prepared for next season.
Natalie, you had a 15-year international career, played in the 2013 World Cup. A good World Cup campaign for the ladies last time out, and everything's building for 2021. Yeah,
it is. I think the RFL have putting some money behind girls, now affiliated to Super League teams. Super League teams are getting behind the women's game. The aim is 2021, and our aim is to get some of these lasses at Wakefield in that squad. And that'll be aimed because we've got some class players. Just need a bit of finishing and some guidance, I think.
Natalie Gilmore there talking about England's prospects at the World Cup. And I guess that's what the Super League is all about, really, getting that talent ready for the World Cup. What do you think England's chances are?
England's chances for the next World Cup are fantastic. I think they've started the development squad this year with quite a young squad. Thinking about 3 years down the line, there's some amazing talent coming through, and with the under-19s programs, with the Super League programs, you get a chance to see so much more of it now. I think there's the younger ones I've been playing with. For me, I'm cracking on a little bit now. And playing against the under-19s was a little bit weird, but at the same time, they hit as hard, they run as hard, if not better. And I think England are going to be really geared up in 2021 to go forward and hopefully get a medal. And I firmly believe they've got the possibility to lift that trophy. And the way that we're going, more of a professional setup and keep working hard, and it'll be ours.
We've got a couple of years yet until the World Cup in 2021. It is over here. Obviously there's a bigger talent pool to choose from this year because there's so many new Super League teams coming in this year. Who do you think could be an international star of the future?
Certainly from our team, I think we've got Chloe Matthewson, absolutely fantastic young player, runs with the ball, she's not scared to hit the big players, ball handling fantastic, and she's got some good feet on her as well.
And same question to you, Danica. If there are any international stars of the future that you think could be there?
Well, we're really lucky at Leeds. We've got Lois Forsell, who's vice captain of England, and Shah Booth and stuff. But then you've got Caitlin Beavers, who we've already mentioned. Sophie Robinson's up and coming. There's just so many new players that haven't been seen really before. Hannah Butcher at halfback is just phenomenal with the ball, and getting into Super League now, her confidence is just growing and growing. So who knows in 3 years' time where she might be.
Well, let's have a look at the Super League table now and see where everybody sits. Well, most teams have played 5 games and the table looks like this. St Helens and Leeds are in 1 and 2, separated only by points difference, with Castleford breathing down their necks in 3rd. Wigan still have a game in hand and sit in 4th, but that win in Blackpool has put Bradford hot on their heels. York is still to register their first win. So there's only one Super League tie this weekend. Wigan are playing York. That's going to be a tough prospect for York, isn't it?
Definitely, but I think with the past results for York, I think they're really gelling as a team now. So I think they might be the ones to surprise them this weekend.
York are coming off the back of a really great win against Widnes in the Challenge Cup. What do you think that'll do for their confidence going into this game against Wigan?
I think it'd be great for them. It was so great to see York get so many points on the board. They're really putting themselves out there this year. They've come into the Super League, and they haven't given up. They could turn up at every game, and they're putting on the fight until the 80th minute. So they really deserved that win last weekend, and going into this weekend is going to be difficult. Wigan are a great setup, and they've got some phenomenal players on their squad. But like York have done all season, I'm sure they're going to put up a good fight and not give in, and hopefully come away with some kind of score there.
We've already seen how ruthless Wigan can be this season. You got them first game up. How tough was that challenge?
Very tough. Some of us hadn't played together before, and to face Wigan, a tough team, tough pack, and wingers, some outstanding pace on their wings.
Like Beth said, there's some great talent in that Wigan team. Who would you pick out for York, who they've got to look out for?
I think, we've got the experience of Gemma Walsh back in there. She dictates a lot of the game, a phenomenal ball handler. She can move the defence around really well. She's paired with Rachel Thompson in the centres there. Rachel Thompson's another international player. So you've got some great strength, down one side. You've got Becky Greenfield, I think it is, that's playing in the backs. She's just a rapid young player that's up and coming now, and no doubt will be picked up sooner or later by the talent pool. So they've got a really strong squad out there.
And quickly, both of your score predictions for the weekend.
I really would like York to try, score a try. So I'm going to say 54-4.
I don't think it'll be that much. I think Wigan will go easy. So I'll say 32-6.
Well, we'll look out for those scores at the weekend. And can I thank you both for being my first guests on our first show. We hope you'll join us next time for some more Women in League.